Hey, what's up, friends? I am knocking out my second workout of the day and wanted to come live and drop some golden nuggets in this group. Let me just say this. I appreciate every single person for being in this group, and I never ask much from all of the just amazing people that's in this group. When we decided to put this group together a year ago, as I was completing my first book, The Richest Men in Direct Sales, my book manager and I said, well, let's have a platform to where all of your readers, you and your readers can have, basically a platform to where they can ask a lot of questions and you can answer those questions. So we came up, obviously, all of our books and my speaking engagements outside of my core business goes through our company called Think Life is Different, and that's how we came up with this platform. So I appreciate all of you guys. I will ask you to do two things. One, anytime you hear a video, and there's tons in this group, that like tonight I'm going to be talking about basically healthy finances and how to go from where you're at right now to maybe places you never even thought of. But there's a ton of just free content in here that will help you on healthy mind, on healthy relationships, on how to get your body in the best shape you've ever had it before, all sorts of stuff. So that's one thing, as I would ask you to share any video that really resonates with you, and two, invite people into this community that are looking for more information, more health, more knowledge, all those things. So tonight, let's jump into the subject. And as you jump on, let me know who's jumping on, and definitely give a whole bunch of hearts, thumbs up if all these things happen. First thing I'll say is this, sort of in 2012, if any of you guys have read any of my books, whether that be The Richest Men in Direct Sales, whether that be The 12 Shifts, both of those books, as you know, turned bestsellers. The Richest Men Direct Sales turned bestseller. There's a big coyote right there. Ooh, that's a big boy. See if you can see him running right there. See him? Ooh, that's a big one right there. That's about the biggest one I've seen out here. They're all going in for the night. Let's see if you can see him. There he is. See him? It's a big boy right there. Yeah, he's looking for food. I'm glad I didn't bring my pup out tonight. That would have been a nice little snack. So, years ago, anyway, I was really struggling with my finances, even though I had an amazing job as a medical sales rep. I worked for an incredible company um, that gave me a great opportunity. At that time, they paid me, my base salary was $72,000 a year with bonuses and commissions. At scale, it was 120,000 compensation package. Although I never earned that much, my biggest year was 112, and back then I thought that that was actually good. Now I do not think that's good at all. That's not even close to being good. That's not even to take a whole year to earn that little amount of money. Makes me think, where was my mindset back then, and why was I settling for such a low compensation package? And a couple of reasons why I settled is, one, my mindset wasn't that big, so I thought that that was actually good, right? A lot of it has to do with our environment and the people that we associate with. So a lot of the people that I associated with were all trying to get to what they call six figures. And they said, if you earn six figures, then that means that you're doing well. So for me, that's what I was striving for. I didn't have people around me to tell me, hey, that's those goals are too low. Those goals aren't just too low, they're way too low. You should be striving for something much, much, much bigger. I didn't have any of those people. In my circle, that was actually good. you know. Um, so that was one reason. The second reason was I just didn't know. I didn't know any other way. And because I didn't know any other way, I thought that what I was doing was really good. Nobody, to my knowledge, in my family had ever really done that. So, with a college degree in hand, with multiple scholarships that have been given to me over the years, um, with a six-figure job, with, um, I started a great little family. My wife, super beautiful inside and out. I was still standing there wondering, why am I not where I want to be in my career? Why am I not seeing any money coming in? What is the problem? Right? I have the degree. I graduated with a 3.74 GPA in college. People always told me that it's really good to have a high GPA, and I was still stuck and I was still broke. So obviously, all that had changed, and I want to explain to you how that changes. Okay, and it's not going to be industry specific, but it's going to be specific to anyone that just wants to do better financially. First thing I will say is anybody that's watching this right now, if you desire to build wealth, you can absolutely do it, even at the current income level that you're on right now. Now, it's probably going to take maybe 30 to 40 years, but over time, you can build that. And the way that I explain it is in my book, The Richest Man in Direct Sales. It's an extremely simple formula. Gotta look back and make sure that coyote's not stalking me. Uh, the formula is so simple that my kids have been using it basically since they were 2 or 3 years old. Now, there's two things that it really requires to maximize this formula. I would write this down. The first thing is delayed gratification. The second thing is emotional intelligence. Let me say that again. First thing is delayed gratification. Why I didn't have any money back then was it wasn't that I didn't earn enough. It wasn't that I didn't have the right salary. And it definitely wasn't because I didn't have the right job. It was because I didn't know how to say no to things that I didn't need. I didn't know how to say no to things that I didn't need. I would go on vacations. I would buy a whole bunch of crap that I didn't need. I would um, be buying clothes, little things, CDs, fast food, Starbucks. I didn't know how to say no to things that I didn't need. And because I didn't have any delayed gratification, I couldn't give up the good right now so that I could build wealth over time. I lived paycheck to paycheck. I never had any money. The other thing is emotional intelligence. Human beings are highly emotional creatures. This is probably the biggest reason why we're not as successful in any area of life that we really want to be successful in because we're really emotional. And because we're really emotional, which stems from an unhealthy mind, our emotions dictate our actions, and our actions dictate our habits. Okay? So when we're not seeing the success that we want, all that means is we have to change something in our daily habits. We can't keep doing the same things we've been doing, hoping for different results. Now, why this is so hard is because of your emotions. So, tomorrow you'll go to work, something will happen. Either a boss yells at you, or somebody in your family gets hit by a car, or um, a client or a customer cusses you out, and all these things. What that's going to do is make you feel like crap. This is your emotional state. And then you're going to do things that throw you off and don't allow you to do the actions and build the habits that you want so that you can actually start to be really successful. So you get into a deep emotional state. If you're like my wife, then you're going to be shopping on to cure that emotional state. A lot of people use food, a lot of people use alcohol, a lot of people use shopping, a lot of people use gambling, a lot of people use drugs. But to cure that emotional state, you're going to do something that probably sabotages you. So a lot of people, what they'll do is they'll say, you know what, since I feel like crap, I deserve something. And one of the things that we deserve would be like, let me just buy a new pair of Jordans so that I can feel better about this situation. What they don't know is that purchase of the new Jordans, what happens is they didn't give up something that was good to now take that same $70 or $100 and invest it in something so later on they could have something that's great. And the reason why is they don't know how to control their emotions. They have poor emotional intelligence. This is why most people are obese and overweight as well. They can't say no to their emotions. They can't say no. Like tonight, I don't want to be out here working out, right? I don't feel like it. I'd rather be freaking watching TV or something. That's what my emotions are telling me. You're tired, bro. Just chill out. But I have learned biggest this is how you earn a lot of money, by the way, is you start to learn how to give up good things for great things. You really start looking for the future. For example, I know a lot of people that could easily work on their business in my industry, but they won't because their emotions tell them that they need safety and comfort. So instead of working on their business, what they'll do is they'll go drive Uber or they'll go drive something else, right? So they'll spend 4 or 6 hours doing that because their emotions is safety and comfort, and they'll get a paycheck right now. Instead of giving up that good paycheck, putting that same 4 to 6 hours into their business so that they can establish something that's great. But they have to have something right now, right? So it's poor delayed gratification and it's poor emotional intelligence. Now, here's the formula. The formula is so easy to build wealth over time. It's so crazy. Even if I worked at McDonald's, it would still work. Okay? Here's the formula. The formula is you never spend more than 70 cents out of a dollar. Let me just say that again. You never spend more than 70 cents out of a dollar. So every time you get paid, 10% of that check goes to savings, 10% of that check goes to investing, and 10% goes to charity or tithing. And the other 70 cents, the other 70%, you use to pay everything that you need, not want. Let me say that again. I know a lot of people who are high earners in income, right? Firefighters who spend all their damn time doing overtime, right? Instead of being home with their family, they're working all the time. They're chasing the dollar. They earn, let's just say, 130,000 a year, but they spend 140,000 a year. You know what they're called? Broke. Broke. They're in a worse position, honestly, but they don't look like it. But they're in a worse position than a lot of people that you see on the street. They earn a lot, but they don't keep a lot. And the way you start building wealth is you learn to keep a whole bunch of your money. Okay, so people say, Jay, why are you always wearing the same clothes and stuff? Well, because I don't spend a ton of money on stuff that I don't need. Every dollar really matters to me, really matters to me, really matters to me, and it matters to my future. And it has been for about the last 8 years. So, what I did in the early days is I said, okay, I'm going to get stronger with delayed gratification. I'm not going to buy anything that I don't need. I'm not going to go to Hawaii. I'm not going to do all these crazy things that people do who don't have the money that they want. And I'm going to get really strong with my emotional management. Okay? So that's what I did. And I said, what I'm going to do is I'm only going to spend 60% of everything I earn, and everything else is going to be divided into savings and investing while I still give 10% away. That is the formula for building wealth over time. Now, 30 or 40 years from now, you're going to be doing okay. Why? Because you have been diligent and really contributing to your future. Like I put on my Facebook the other day, one of my greatest teachers, Bishop T.D. Jakes, told me 8 years ago, is he said, Jamil, there's an old person inside of you begging and praying that you make the right decisions today and tomorrow. And what a lot of us do is we fail to look towards the future. So we do a whole bunch of crazy things today, like an ostrich with our heads put in the ground, as if tomorrow isn't going to come. Now, tomorrow isn't promised to any of us, which is the truth. But damn, dude, tomorrow probably is going to come. And if tomorrow comes, I want to set myself up for the future. So that's long term. That's long term. Anybody can do that. Anybody can do that. But it takes a lot of self discipline, and that's what most people don't have. So you have to ask yourself, am I willing to have the self discipline not to spend all of my damn paycheck? Am I willing to have the self discipline to put this money away? Am I willing to have the self discipline to pay myself first? Am I willing to have the self discipline to learn where to start investing my money? And one of the easiest ways to do that is to set up an automatic system. So as soon as your paycheck comes in, you automatically have 10% of it going to one account, 10% going to another account, and 10% going to an investment account, or I'm sorry, a tithing or charity account. Ezra does this now. He does this now. He's been doing it for years. Now, let me tell you the short term. Short term is as simple as this. And this is where most people fail because most people are trained to get a job. And it's hard to do really, really well financially if you're trained to have a job. Very, very hard. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying it's really, really hard for one reason. Earning and doing really, really well financially comes down to really one thing. And that one thing is how many people can you help? I would write that down again. How many people can you help? Let me say that again. How many people can you help? The challenge is if you're working for someone else, you can't really help that many people. The other challenge is there's not enough time. Let's just say I was a pilot, okay? And I'm only saying that because I'm walking past my neighbor Dev's house up here. So Dev lives up here. He's an amazing, amazing guy. So he's a pilot for, I think, United. And so obviously he does well financially, right? Maybe brings in 200,000 a year. Maybe, I don't know what the man's income is, but 200,000 is not doing like awesome financially. It's doing okay, but it's not doing awesome. So he only earns 200,000 because he doesn't really help that many people. Just think about it. Even if I flew the biggest jet from one way to another, I'm probably only serving maybe what, 200 people, 250 people, right? And let's just say I did 5 trips a day. So on a good day, I'm helping, let's just say 1,000 people, right? That's not really that many people when you have 350 million people just in the United States. So because you get paid primarily for how many people you serve and the value that comes within that service, you're not really going to make that much. Like every year, my wife, before we found our current vehicle, she was in education. She was a teacher. And teachers every year sort of complain or have challenges about how much or how little they're getting paid. And they're never going to get paid that much. Why? Because they can't help that many people. They don't serve that many people. I don't care if you're a pastor or if you're a teacher. If I'm a pastor and I'm only helping 30 people on Sunday morning, I'm not going to make that damn much. But if I'm a pastor and I have a freaking, I don't know, a congregation that serves 10,000 people on Sunday morning, I'm going to earn a lot more. How many people can you impact? The teachers, they just can't impact that many people. What, 25 kids in a classroom or something? It's not that you're not bringing that much value to that many people. And so that's why if you run a business and not just run a small business, because even if I ran a small business and I was a massage therapist, how many people do you think I could actually serve in a 8 or 10 hour day? Not that many, right? Maybe 8 people, 10 people. Let's just say it was 10 people. So, and I work 5 days a week. That's 50 people a week times 4 weeks. That's only 200 people in a month. I'm not going to earn that much. I'm not going to earn that much at all. So, but what if I was a massage therapist and I said, you know what? I'm going to run this operation. I'm going to have about 5 other massage therapists work for me. And then I'm going to open up 20 other locations. And in 20 locations, I'm going to have each location is going to have 5 massage therapists, and they all work for me now. And so now I say, okay, wow. Now instead of 200 people, now it's like 5,000 people that I'm impacting directly and indirectly. And because of that, now my income scales like crazy. And I don't have to be in every single location every time. So if you want to drastically scale your income, then you'll want to find a way to help serve and solve a lot of problems. That's how you do it. Unfortunately, they don't teach us this in school. So you have a lot of people that only solve a little bit of problems and only earn a little bit of money. And then once they have a little bit of money, nobody teaches us what to do with a little bit of money. So now let's just say your income at the beginning, if I'm in this massage therapist, I'm not going to earn that much because I'm building all the infrastructure, right? I got a lot of costs. I gotta I gotta grow my clientele. I gotta find the buildings and all these things, right? And I'm spending a lot of time, a lot more time than I would if I just went to work for somebody else for eight hours in that day. Now, because it's my own operation, I'm telling you, I'm spending way more than 8 hours a day. But again, this is giving up the good, which is sitting around watching Netflix, eating bonbons and stuff, because you see something greater in the future. Now, here's the deal. Every year, if we do it right, that income's going to start scaling. So year one, maybe we only earn 40,000 that year. Year two, maybe it's 120. Year three, now we're looking at 350. Year four, now we're looking at 600. Year five, now we're looking at 800. Year six, now we're looking at 1 million. Year seven, now we're looking at 1.5. Year eight, now we're looking at 2 million a year. Year nine, now we're at 3 million. Year 10, now we're at 3.5 or $4 million a year. Why? Because we're serving and helping way more people because we have now found a vehicle that's much faster than me just trading time for money. It literally makes no sense to do that, but because we're trained to do that, we don't think like I didn't think back in 2012 to do something different with my time. Now, here's the deal. You're still keeping the same ratio, you guys. You're still keeping the same ratio. You're still only spending 70% of your income, and you're still saving and investing and tithing 10%. But if I save 10% of 1 million, that's a hell of a lot bigger than saving 10% of a couple thousand. If I invest, just think about it. If I invest 10% of 1 million, I'm investing $100,000 a month. Think about that, right? If I if I save now let's just say that investment, because you don't make a ton of money by earning income, by the way. You save it by that money actually working for you. That's investing. So now let's just say annually I'm investing, let's just say 100,000, right? That's a lot different from investing 10,000 because you have something called compounding interest. And let's just say now every year I'm building, I've been building on average, let's just say 8 to 10%, right? 8%. We'll say 7%. Doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter because just like you've been building that business, which by the way is an asset, you've also have been compounding your investments. So by year 10, you guys, you have far outpaced anything and anyone that was around you. Far outpaced them. And they're going to be sitting around thinking, how the hell did that happen? And you're going to say, what do you mean? It's so dang simple, right? Because it is. It's really simple. Now, it's not easy because of delayed gratification, poor emotional intelligence, not having the vision, not having the knowledge. Those are the reasons why it's not going to be easy, but dang it, the strategy is simple. And I sit around and I think, why the heck aren't they teaching our kids this stuff in like the second grade? These aren't like difficult concepts at all. They're not difficult concepts at all. It's just that nobody nobody's focusing on this stuff. I will tell you this: jargons, prepositions, spelling, run-on sentences, none of that stuff serves me at 40 years old. Accounting, investing, knowing how to build a business, leadership, those things really serve me at 40 years old. Like, so I don't understand what is going on and why this is happening. But what I do understand is, you know, we clean up our own households, we clean up our own finances, we go out there and we make sure that we start living in abundance. And then just think about it too. If I'm earning 100,000 a year and my philosophy is to give 10% away, right? I'm earning 100,000 a year. My philosophy is to give 10% away. Now I'm giving away 10,000, which is good. It's certainly not great though. But if I'm earning 1 million a year and my philosophy still is to give 10% away, now I'm giving away 100,000. Let me ask you this. How much better could you be helping people if you were giving away $100,000 every year to the charity or church that was really important to you? So when people say, when they have these weird concepts about money, I say, you don't understand how it works. Because if you really understood how it works, then you would be really driven to freaking earn as much as you can. Now, here's the last thing I'll say about this, and then I'm done for the night, and I'm almost done with my walk. The biggest thing that I see in people is this right here. Your desire to earn more is in direct relation to your desire to grow more. Can't have one without the other. So the people, when I was in 2012, I only earned 112,000 because that was the size of man that I was. Let me just say this again. I only earned 112,000 because that is the size of the value of the man that I was to our market economy. I wasn't that big of a human being. I didn't have to spend a lot of time working on myself. I didn't have to spend a lot of time learning new disciplines. I didn't have to spend a lot of time learning new skills. I didn't have to spend a lot of time with growing my emotional intelligence, with giving up delayed gratification. I didn't have to learn how to step out of ego. Damn, I didn't even have to learn how to give a good handshake, right? Like, I didn't have to become the man that I am now. So I earn what I earn now is because I had to become this person. A person that doesn't earn a lot, that's okay for them. The problem is they don't have to become much. And if we have a nation of a whole bunch of people that don't have to become much, then I'm just telling you, that's a problem. One of the fastest ways you change your communities and the country is you teach people how to become more. Because if they learn how to become more, now they're more valuable to our society because they will have to grow as individuals. So that's the last thing I'll say about that. Hopefully, this was helpful. Hopefully, you sit down and think tonight, um, what are some ways that I could really drive more value and impact more people? If at minimum, hopefully, this has inspired you to set your own financial game plan to say, today is the last day that I spend more than 70 cents of what I earn, right? Or 70% of what I earn. And if you're making a whole bunch of excuses like you don't understand, I don't make that much, there's no way I couldn't, you know, I couldn't only spend 70%, then I say you don't have enough desire. Because if there's a will, there's a way. If there's a will, there's a way. You don't have enough desire because you're probably living in a house you're not supposed to be living in. You're probably paying too much in rent or in mortgage. One of the fastest ways to get your budget in that 70% range is to simply move. Well, Jamil, I don't want to move. Then you don't really want to build wealth. You know, I mean, let's just call a spade a spade. That's the flipping truth. Because if you're living and paying $2,000 a month for rent, and you could freaking move to Albuquerque, New Mexico, which you can, and pay $700 a rent and get the same sort of job, right? Or build your business from there. Now, you literally, just from moving, have figured out a way to save $1,300 a month. If there's a will, there's a way. This is what I'm talking about. Mindset. Mindset. Most people aren't doing as well as they can because they make too many damn excuses and their mindset is off, right? They spend time on a whole bunch of stuff that doesn't bring them the return that they're looking for. I see it every day. And I'm thinking, what the hell are you doing? Why would you do that? Why would you go freaking drive Uber for a short term gain when you can build something for long term gain? Why? No delayed gratification will not give up the good for the great. It's just how it is, unfortunately. So, anyways, I hope this was a blessing for you. Please invite some people to this group that love free information. At some point in time, I'm going to close off this group, and this information isn't going to be for free. But I appreciate everybody. Love that this community is here. If you guys ever have any questions, then drop them in the group, and I'll do my best to get to them and answer them. Have a great night.